come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. I'm feeling okay this morning, and you know, we're on the road to paradise. Here we go, here we go. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. Would you like to come along, and you can help me sing this song, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride, and it's alright, baby, it's alright. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day. It's alright, baby, it's alright. They could tell you what to do, but they'll make a fool of you, and it's alright, baby, it's alright.
Hey fam, that was a song I requested Jessie Jet do for me for my theme song, Talking Heads. You know, I was like, what song should I use for, you know, my theme song? And I'm like, I just kept thinking Road to Nowhere because it's just so freaking fitting right now. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. And thank you so much, Jessie. I could listen to you singing the phone booth. As I've told you, your voice is incredible. And Jessie is actually working on another cover song for me for my new show I'm going to be doing on Mondays on the Populous Voice Network with Compton J. So that will premiere on Monday. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is this week's news, and it is 13 o'clock somewhere. So thanks to Andy doing the engineering in the background for me tonight. Do you want to go to the first video there?
And for joining me today to talk about the need to raise the debt limit. We haven't failed to do that since our inception as a country. We need to act. These leaders know the need to act. The United States pays its bills. It's who we are. It's who we've been. It's who we're going to continue to be, God willing. That's what's called the full faith and credit of the United States. Let me be clear. Raising the debt limit is paying our old debts. There's nothing to do with new spending or what may be coming this year or other years. There's nothing to do with my plans on infrastructure or building back better, both of which are paid for, but they're not even in the queue right now. It's about paying for what we owe and preventing a catastrophic event occurring in our economy. I'm glad these leaders are here to talk about the real world impact this is going to have on people and on our position in the world. Today's discussion won't be partisan. It shouldn't be. Raising the debt limit is usually bipartisan. Let me speak for my.
So the reason I added that, and I know the MMT community knows exactly why I added that. So Biden is, talking about the debt ceiling, and how we pay our debts. And we have this debt that is ever looming over us. But then he also says, this has nothing to do with my Build Back Better infrastructure bill. That's already paid for. So you kind of just inadvertently fucked up, dude, because you just admitted it's already paid for. How do you already pay for something when you have debt? You don't. We print the money. We change decimal points on a computer. Tax the rich? Fuck yes. But we don't need to tax them to actually get the things we deserve. We don't need to tax them to get a Build Back Better infrastructure bill or Medicare for all or federal jobs guarantee or anything. We do not need to do that. And Biden just, oops, admitted it's already paid for. So I shared that shit and tagged Pavlina and Stephanie Kelton, and I'm like, look, he inadvertently admitted that there is a surplus of money because we already paid for something that didn't even get voted on yet. So go figure. Anyway, I thought that was pretty telling. Andy, you can go to the next thing.
Doing present, because it didn't really satisfy anyone. The supporters of Israel are mad at you for not voting for it. Critics of Israel are mad at you for not voting against it. Do you regret that?
You know, it is something that I weigh, because there's always the macro and then there's the micro. And in the macro of narrative, of politics, of national impact, you know, I probably should have just gone with my value. But in the macro, which would be to vote no. But in the micro, I do believe that this created a window in our community to be able to bring all folks to the table, because my great fear is that we are going to import the same sort of contention around this issue, and we can have a progressive movement that defends Palestinian human rights, that is Muslim, Christian, Jewish. So in the micro, I believe that it created a window of opportunity for us in the Bronx. But in the macro, it was very difficult, yes.
What? What? That was more bananas than her usual responses. That was just so incredibly bizarre. And talk about skirting the question. Mehdi is a total tool. And even he was like, okay, right, yep. The macro and the micro, dude. I interviewed AOC, and she talked a lot about MMT, because at that time she was having lunches with Pavlina and really learning and embracing a lot of it. And when I heard her start talking about macro and micro, I'm like, yeah, finally, I can agree with her on something. And then it was just her attempt at rationalizing her lack of vote. Also, what in the fuck does her vote have to do with the Bronx? I have no idea what she's talking about. None. I'm trying to genuinely figure out what she is trying to say, but I don't think she even knows. I just think it caught her off guard. And you know, these people, they only go on shows they feel safe on. They feel like, well, these people usually give me softballs, so I'm going to go on that. And I don't think she was expecting that. And she just pulled word salad out of her ass, and it made zero sense. And even her, you know, sycophants were having a really hard time, you know, defending that one. Because, yeah, it helped people in the Bronx to vote, you know, present. Like, even if you voted the wrong way, at least take a stand. I mean, voting present, you're both siding that shit. Fuck that. At least take a stand. Andy, you can go to the next one. So everyone was talking about word salad. And when I think word salad, I always think of Buttigieg. Always. And I mean, let's be honest, you know, they had Taco Tuesday. This went under the radar a lot. And I have posted it so many times. And, you know, people say, well, what does it matter if they went to lunch one day? Well, here's what it matters. Because they didn't have lunch in the cafeteria, you know, of the, you know, government building. They didn't just run into each other like, oh, hey, guess what? Let's have Taco Tuesday. That's not what it was. They went out to lunch together, meaning it probably was more social than I could absolutely see her running for president with him as VP. I could fucking see that so easily. Don't hate on me. I'm telling you, I could see that. And the way she keeps moving more and more right, I think she's planning for something. Let's put it that way. Maybe taking over Pelosi's spot, maybe trying to take over Schumer's spot, maybe running for president with Pete Buttigieg as VP. I don't know, but there is a plan in there. So we shall see. Andy, you can put the next one up.
Andrew Yang, the must-see interview as he breaks away from the Democratic Party.
Right now, this duopoly is not working for any of us.
There are so many barriers to starting a viable third party. It hasn't been done. Why can you do it?
Don't miss Tucker Carlson today, streaming Wednesday, only on Fox Nation.
Because when I went independent, the first thing I did was announce it on Tucker Carlson. That was the first thought I had. Hold up, I gotta go announce it there. Not when I switched to Republican, when I switched to independent. Andy, do you have the next screenshot? Okay. Andy, can you read this out? I can't see it.
Of course I can. I'd love to help you. Now, excuse me, I have to admit that, first of all, if I knew I was going to be on camera today, I would have shaved. It's not my fault. Just
I would have too.
I shaved my legs for this. Okay. All right. So it says Yang is bragging about going independent. Plus, all I can think of is you had the opportunity to endorse the longest running, most successful independent congressman, senator in our history, and instead you endorsed a warmonger establishment Republican with a D next to his name. You fucking. Sorry, I added that last one.
But that's what I kept thinking of as he's bragging about being an independent. Like, you had the opportunity to vote for the independent, and you didn't. Andy, you can go to the next one. All right, let's see. What's this say? I try not to judge. Okay. So people are giving him props for that. But the problem is he doesn't really judge. And while I think, like, at first I found that endearing, like how he never really posted anything negative, even though I don't really think it's very human to not. I find it frustrating if you are in politics and you say you don't judge. All of us judge. All of us. So what you mean is that you don't verbally judge. And if you're in politics, you should. You should go and say, you know what? Fuck that. That policy is wrong. They shouldn't have approved that. They shouldn't have denied that. They need to, come up with this legislation. That is a form of judging. And that is how things are productive. That is how people are held accountable. So if you're in politics and say, I try not to judge, That's actually a concern to me. So everyone's like, yeah, that's amazing. Like, you sound like kumbaya hippie, when in real life, okay, cool. That's good. But politically, that's a problem. Andy, do you want to put the next one? Okay, so Yang's name of his party, Forward Party. That doesn't flow at all. Forward Party. So Dem Party, Republican Party, Green Party, Libertarian Party, Forward Party. That is pretty abysmal. I don't understand why that was chosen. I think it kind of exemplifies just how ridiculous his, showmanship always is. Not to mention the fact that he came out with this so-called party the day his book was released. I mean, like, trying to make money on the same day you're trying to so-called change politics. Yeah, I'm sorry, but his sycophants do not see anything wrong with that. And when I'm posting things like this, they jump in my comments like, he's trying to change the system by a third party. No, actually what he's trying to do, maybe not trying to do, what even if not, what he's inadvertently doing, is he is going to hurt every third party that is already existing or already trying to exist, by just taking all the things that they have successfully achieved or are on the verge of successfully achieving and just completely decimate it. It's definitely going to do nothing but hurt third parties. I don't understand why I'm still seeing leftists who aren't Yang Gangers being like, this is good, we need more third parties. Yeah, if they're serious. This isn't serious. This is a dude who literally says human-centered capitalism. There is no such thing. We all should know this. This is a dude who, when running for president, was spraying whipped cream into a dude's mouth while he was on his knees. A dude who was crowd surfing. A guy who thought it was okay to hand out, throw fake $1,000 bills with his face on it to people in his crowds while people are hurting terribly. He is a showman. That's it. I guarantee someone just said to him, hey, you should start a third party. And he's like, oh, yeah. Because when I talk to these people in the comments, they're like, he's not a Democrat anymore. He's starting a third party. And I'm like, do you know who MPP is? Now, any issues you have with Movement for a People's Party aside, that's moot. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you look at the process and you look at the fact that they've been around for a couple of years and they still are going state by state to fill out the correct paperwork to get on the ballots, to establish candidates. Like, this is a years and years long process. This is not, we have a third party. It has a name. It's in effect. These people are incredibly naive. They have no idea. They're like, oh, 2022, we're going to elect so many people in the Forward Party. And I'm like, you're not even allowed to be on ballots right now. No candidates can register to run as Forward Party. It's literally impossible. But they don't know these things. And quite frankly, Andrew Yang might not even know these things because he talks about things without researching them all the time. So this is nothing but a ploy. nothing's going to happen from it. All you're going to see is his Yang Gangers, trying to run for office and push his absolute garbage policies, and his awful, attempt at UBI, his lack of Medicare for all, his lack of FJG, his lack of Green New Deal, his lack of, racial justice, his lack of prison reform, the list goes on. We don't need more of him. That's actually pretty daunting. I don't want more people in a party with those awful, lack of priorities. We don't need that shit. We already have all that garbage in, especially the two main parties. We don't need another one. Just stay with the Dems. You're more like them than you think you are. Andy, you can go to the next one. What is this? Oh my God. Okay, so I was going back and forth with this guy for over 24 hours. I don't know why. I just felt like I knew I wasn't going to convince him of anything. I knew I wasn't, but I was just like, he seems like reasonably intelligent, and that's why I was getting so frustrated. And then after this comment, I fucking gave up because I kept saying, what is he doing? What is he doing? And he's like, well, he talks about ranked choice voting all the time. So what I did was I did a search at Andrew Yang ranked choice voting on Twitter. I got a post from 2019 when he was running. Okay. All the time. I went to YouTube. I searched it. Nothing came up. So, no, he's not talking about ranked choice voting. Then this dude proceeds to tell me, well, he knows that a third party is not going to work without ranked choice voting. And I said, then why is he creating a third party instead of fighting for ranked choice voting first? You just called yourself out. That makes no sense. I agree. Ranked choice voting is the only thing that has any hope of getting a third party viable. The only thing. Period. It hasn't happened yet, and ranked choice voting would give it that chance. So you're saying he knows it's not going to happen without it, but yet he's creating a new party anyway? Makes no fucking sense. So I keep asking this kid, what is he doing? Action. And he tells me, like, well, he ran with it on his platform. That's action. Dude dropped out, 2 years ago? He dropped out over a year ago. What, he's not running for president, so he can't do shit anymore? You don't have to act on anything. He has a fan base. I don't understand why, but he does. And if he wanted to, call attention to, let's start ranked choice voting. Let's get everyone on board. Let's do petitions. Let's do marches. He has that kind of following. So don't tell me running for president over a year ago is action. No. Fuck that noise. That's so absurd. And at that point, I just fucking gave up. I'm like, this kid's clueless. I'm done. Andy, you can go to the next one. So, we're hearing so much about Manchin and Sinema, of course. And in one way, it's kind of cool to finally see, the Dems demonizing other Dems. But at the same time, we all know it's simply to, deflect from the awfulness that all of them are. But they will run again. They will. And the Dems will absolutely support them, even if it's behind the scenes. they are realizing, holy shit, we have the Senate, the House, the White House, and we are still doing absolutely nothing. And people are realizing it more because we don't have that boogeyman to be like, well, it's the Republicans, it's the Republicans. It's, you know, it calls more attention to their inaction. So with these two people still in the party, that way, if they do win again, which I guarantee they hope they don't, they can always obfuscate to these two people and be like, well, Manchin and Sinema holding it up again. Gosh, golly gee, that sucks. So just like I think they want to lose in 2022 because they want these people to be boogeymen again, and because they their donations are at an all-time low, I think they also want these two people to be reelected. And even though these two people are what they call Dino, dem in name only, vote blue no matter who, people. They're going to vote for him. Vote blue no matter who. They can raise a stink all they want. They will vote for them if they run again. Guaranteed. So we'll see. But, you know, people are like, I hope not. Well, let's see who runs against them. It could be a fucking doppelganger, the way shit's going now. And, you know, check out, some of the takes of Sinema being kind of, you know, I don't know how to say it, like run up on in the bathroom or confronted in the bathroom. You know, it's incredible that leftists are saying that it was wrong and stuff like that. And, you know, in reality, if I lived in that state and I was walking by something somewhere and I saw her, I'd fucking approach her too. Are you kidding me? That's a chance. That's a chance. Listen, this is what's happening. I am an immigrant. I am undocumented. I need you to sign this. And people are really saying that that's not okay. Fuck that. Because there were two other times prior to this that people had approached her incredibly respectfully. Hi, Senator Sinema. How are you today? I just wanted to talk to you and get your opinion on blah, blah, blah. And she snubbed her nose and walked away. People have tried talking to her. Someone just tried talking to her again yesterday. And she refused to even acknowledge the woman, except she called her Congresswoman. And Sinema goes, Senator. And that was the only thing she said to her. So when we, you know, go at these people who, you know, and shame their tactics, these people are public servants. We're not approaching them in their houses. Like, this is not their property. This is a public college campus. And they saw an opportunity. They risk deportation. There is nothing wrong with them saying, I'm taking this opportunity to try and appeal to any little bit of empathy this, you know, person might have. And they would have regretted if they didn't. The only thing that confuses me about the whole thing is how they're Biden supporters. The Build Back Better bill, which why you'd have Biden use a tongue twister is beyond me, because a man can't speak. There is breadcrumbs when it comes to immigration. Is it the only thing they have right now? Yes. But chanting, build back better, seemed like really Biden supportery. And that bummed me out because I really hope they don't think if it passes, it's going to like save them or whatever you want to say. I have a feeling if they're not completely educated on what all is in that bill, they're going to be really disappointed. But as I said, I understand it is like immediately the only thing on the table. So I do get it. Andy, do you want to go to the next one? Okay, so McDonald's made this post, and weirdly enough, it was going through hundreds of the comments and actually saying what people were saying. A lot of them were like, happy birthday, or give a shout out to this rapper I like, or whatever. So I was like, fuck this. I know they're not going to retweet or respond, but I'm just going to say this. And of course, you know, it got tons of reactions, and I was scrolling through and I thought, why the fuck hasn't anyone else said anything like this? Like, they were all like, happy birthdays and, you know, say hi to my friend and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to just say, fuck you. Because even if they don't respond, they were going through hundreds of those comments. I'm not kidding you. So even if they saw it, I'm happy. Andy, do you want to put the next one up? So I'm in Harrisburg area, and this is happening outside of Lancaster, which is about half an hour from me. And it's the Kellogg's plant. Now, it's in 3 different states. But essentially what's happening is Kellogg's is telling their workers who are part of a union that they are to take less pay, less benefits, and work more hours, or their jobs will be sent to Mexico. So they are in a hostage situation. Do you lose your job? Or do you settle taking, you know, a huge step backward in pay and benefits and everything like that? Absolutely disgusting. So now also keep in mind, a couple of days ago, you know, Biden was campaigning on trade deals and how China's trade deals were so awful and this and that. Well, he also recently said 2 days ago, yes, I'm going to keep those trade policies and expand them. So if we had some kind of, you know, actually like, you know, if politicians actually stood up and said, no, we need to keep work inside the United States. We have countless unemployed people. We have people homeless. We have people, you know, not being able to put food on their table. We need to keep jobs here. That would be cool. But we're not seeing that. So Kellogg's, who is a multi-gajillion dollar company, is telling these people who work their asses off, that is not an easy job to work at a plant. And sorry, we're cutting your wages, your benefits, and we're increasing your hours, or your job's going to Mexico. It's that easy. And like I said, they have a union. So this is a fucking problem. And this is not an isolated incident, but someone sent this to me because it's local to me, and it's pretty disgusting. So definitely follow this story. There's 3 different states. They've been protesting and marching around the plants in all 3 states every day for the past few days. I really hope they're successful. I really, really do, because these people have been talking about protesting for a year, and they finally just started. So I hope, and when you go to Kellogg's website, because I was looking up the address, when you go to their website, it says currently closed. So it's not like they have other workers to pick up the slack. It's literally the entire plant protesting. So fucking right on, good on them, power to the people. Fuck yes. This is what we need. Badass. So my full support, absolutely, to all three of those states. This is what needs to happen across the United States, and hopefully what will, in many places, October 15th, general strike. Andy, you can go to the next one.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. You're free.
Wow. All right, guys. I guess that was a short show. The only other thing I want to talk about is, now we don't have any screenshots or anything for this because I just saw it about a half an hour ago. And it was an article saying that Bernard voted for the, I'm not sure the exact number of the bill, but he said he will vote for the Israel funding. Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. And I'm livid. And he's just breaking my heart a little more every fucking day. Here's the thing, though. Read the entire article. And I'm not making excuses, but I am going to give the facts. The reason why he said he's going to vote for it, good or bad, the reason is because he got Schumer to agree that $1 million out of it will go to the Palestinian people. Now, to break it down further, that was not in there. And the bill was going to pass, with or without Bernard. He kind of pushed Schumer, and now that caveat is in there to help the Palestinian people. So they will get $1 million. Now, you can still say fuck him for still voting for it. I get it. But let's read the entire article, not just the headline. And let's at least appreciate the fact that while we're pissed he's voting for it, let's acknowledge the fact it was going to pass anyway, and he just got the Palestinians $1 million, which is $1 million more than they've gotten. So, I mean, take it or leave it. And it sucks. I don't want him to vote for that. But if it means the Palestinians get $1 million, then it is what it is. And even though, it's a conflicting, situation, and part of me is like, because he's always been so staunch against votes like this. The fact that he got Schumer to agree with adding $1 million for Palestinians is maybe a small victory, but it's a fucking victory because Palestinians don't get shit from us. Oh, did you find an article? Okay, great. Can't read what it says. Sanders is to back Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, at least he got something for the vote. He was not going to vote for it, and that's why he used that leverage. So, I mean, at least I'm thankful for that. Let's put it that way. It was going to pass anyway, and at least, there is some good in the bill now. But yeah, I mean, I get it. The knee jerk when you see the headline is, oh my God, Bernie, what the fuck? Because he's always been the most pro-Palestinian person, always. And he's the only person that hasn't met with Netanyahu. And fucking Netanyahu hates Sanders because Sanders turned down meeting with him a few years ago and instead gave a summit on Palestinian rights. No lie, you can look it up. So they hate him. So I'm sure this wasn't an easy decision to him, but, at least he used his leverage, which I hope he tries to do more. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that because I see people kind of blowing up and just reading the headline. So put it into perspective. You know, if you're still pissed, you're still pissed. But you know, that's the reality. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. So I will be doing Monday shows now at Populous Voice Network, which is Compton Jay's other channel. And I will be doing it with my comrades Logan and Andrew. So it'll be the three of us talking about whatever. We're each going to bring 2 topics to every Monday show and just discuss them. The three of us are all leftists, but we are very different in our takes and things and our perspectives. We're 3 very different people, very different backgrounds. So we appreciate each other, but we do have that different take on things sometimes, which I think more shows need to be like, because we tend to just have shows with people we agree with 24/7 and there's no discourse. So I think that having discussions with differences in takes is actually advantageous for viewers. So that's coming up in less than 2 weeks. I'll be going to California for the first time. And I get to hang out with my buddy Ron again. I miss him so much. Ron Placone. And I am doing the book signing with Patrick for our Yas Queen Chronicles book. So it's a book signing / comedy show with Rick Overton, Jimmy Dore, Steph, and a couple other great people. Oh, yeah. And then I'm doing comedy, too, for the first and last time ever. Because it's a bucket list, and why not? Dun, dun, dun. Still a few tickets left. It's in Los Angeles. Well, it's in Burbank, next to LA, at Flappers. And you could go to flappers.com. There's still a few tickets. They're only $20. And we're going to be selling our books for only $10, which is cheap as fuck, honestly. So definitely come out. I know Compton Jay will be in the audience. He's coming. And there's going to be some special people in the audience as well. So definitely check it out if you can. And also, please subscribe. I also just got approved for Rockfin for this show. So I'll be adding that channel as well. And please subscribe here. Smash the like button. Also, share the post. Also, subscribe to Populous Voice Network. I'm the executive administrator of that channel now. So not just Monday shows, but I'm going to be kind of overseeing all the shows that are going to be on it. And we have a lot of new shows starting next week. People who are altogether new with streaming. So we're going to be bringing a lot of different content, and it's going to be really cool. So you should subscribe and check it out. Also, special thank you to Jesse Jett for doing that amazing Talking Heads cover for me. I love you, and thank you guys so much for watching. Much love. I will see you soon.